Welcome to Street Stories, a podcast of real, raw, and unfiltered stories of homelessness told by Skip Finkfish, founder and pastor of Word on the Street Homeless Ministries. Please be advised these stories are for a mature audience. Our goal is to bring you as close to the reality of homelessness as we can, one story at a time.
Sunday afternoons we do a dinner. We do a Bible study and a dinner for really open to the public, homeless, lower income folk. But really the only prerequisite to the dinner, we jokingly say that if you're going to come to the dinner, be hungry. Other than that, it's open, to everybody. Anyway, sometimes unusual things happen at the dinner, all different kinds of situations that I have to step into the middle of or quiet things down. It really depends upon the time of the year. Summer's harder. Summer's the hardest time, simply because of the heat and the rain and the humidity, and people are tired and people are discouraged, and especially in the summertime, there seems to be more anger and there seems to be more even physical fights and such, because of the folks are they're tired and they're discouraged and they're tired of being soaking wet and in the humidity and the climate we have down here. So this one Sunday, Susan comes walking into the parking lot, and she didn't look good. She was kind of staggering. She literally collapsed onto the parking lot, and I come running over to her. This was as people were coming. The meal hadn't started yet. The Bible study hadn't started yet. People were just coming in, and I ran over to her and turned her over and on the ground, and she was a mess. She was bleeding from the mouth. She was bleeding from the nose. Her eye was under her eye here was swollen and black and blue, and she looked bad. She looked really bad, and she had passed out. I'm assuming from the trauma, the heat, being beaten. Susan, about 5 foot, maybe, under 100 pounds. I don't know how far under, but under 100 pounds. She's a small lady. So as soon as I saw her, and as soon as I saw her face, I knew what had happened. She's with a guy that she's been with, over 30 years, 35 years. And her quote husband, old man, partner, not married, but a lot of people think that common law's a thing. I guess maybe in some states it is. I don't think it is here in Florida. But anyway, he referred to her as his old lady, always, affectionately. And but anyway, they were partners for a long time. His problem is that he, in his frustration and in his anger, he would drink. And when he got drunk, he got angry. And when he got angry, he would take it out on her. And one of the strongest fists and one of the strongest, firmest handshakes of any man I've ever known, period. His fist is just like a ball of, like a stone. And but anyway, he once again took out his frustration and his anger on Susan. I'm not going to name him right now. Anyway, I knew that that's what had happened. She came to. I asked her. she confirmed that that was the case, that he had beat her. And so I called the police. I called 911. Police came, and their camp wasn't that far from the meal. Ambulance came while they were getting Susan ready to go on to put in the ambulance. I took the police back to the camp where he was, and they brought him out to the front, cuffed him, put him back in the squad car, and I started filling out a report so that he could be arrested. He was cursing me from the back seat of the squad car badly. I hate you, motherfucker. I'm gonna come and I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna chop you up. I'm gonna hurt your family. You know, I'll clean it up a little bit from what he was saying, but it was pretty profane, and he was angry. So anyway, we filled out the report, and when they were trying to put Susan into the back of the ambulance, that she wanted to take her backpack with her. She had it on her when she came into the dinner, and she wanted to take that backpack with her. And so the EMTs opened it and looked inside, I guess to make sure there wasn't anything dangerous in there. And they found a bottle of wine, one of the biggest bottles of wine I've ever seen. I mean, the thing was huge, and that was Susan's escape, was wine. So she was all upset because they wouldn't let her take the bottle of wine into the ambulance in her backpack. She's like, but it's in the backpack and it's mine and I don't want to lose it. So I came over there and I told Susan, I said, just, you take the backpack and the other things, your personal items in there. I'll keep the wine for you. I promise you, I won't drink it. I'll save it for you, and I'll get it to you as soon as they're done, helping you and you come back. So anyway, sort of long story short, the next morning, the police contacted me because I gave them my ministry card, my business card, and so they contacted me because after Susan was treated, she was released, and so she was back that next morning or during the night back into her camp. So they wanted me to the police wanted me to take them back to Susan because they wanted her to press charges against him, her partner. And I told them, I will take you back. I don't typically expose where camps are. That's a privacy and a trust factor thing that I have with the homeless. But in this case, I will take you back to her. But I'm telling you right now, she will not press charges. And they said, but he did it and he admitted to it, and she was admitted to the hospital, and she needs to press charges. The man needs help. She needs to press charges. He needs to do some time. He needs to get, some correction. And I said, again, I don't want you to waste your time, and this is probably a procedure that you have to do. So I will take you back, but I'm just letting you know up front, she will not press charges. There's just no way. So I met them on the street, actually at the parking lot where we do the dinner, and then I walked them back to where she was, and I told, I brought her back, and she was sitting there, outside of her tent. And as soon as she saw us coming, she saw me and she saw the police, you could just tell by the body language, she was just shutting down right there. So I told her, Susan, I'm so sorry. I'm coming to check on you. These officers wanted to check on you, see how you were doing, those kinds of things. And before I could even finish what I was saying, she looked at me and she said, "I'm not going to press charges." And I looked at the officers and I continued to talk to her about, what happened at the hospital, trying to, and then she repeated again, "I'm not going to press charges." And so the officer questioned her and she made it clear, "I'm not going to press charges. I can't, I won't press charges." So wished her well and told her I'd see her later on that day with some food and some other things that she needed. We were walking out back out to the squad car in my truck, and I was just in conversation with the officers, and I told, and I asked them. They were like, why doesn't she want to press charges against him? He needs help, and they were frustrated. And I said, here's the reason why. Because he will beat her, and he will beat her pretty severely, once, twice a year. But there's just, in her mind, no way that he would kill her. He's not going to rape her. He's not going to kill her. He is just going to take out his frustration, and he's going to take her to the level that you see her now, but he won't kill her. So if she presses charges and he does 6 months or a year or a couple of years, something along, assault and battery, assault with intent to whatever charges that would be pending, she is going to be alone without his protection. So if he beats her up 2 days in a year, but he is there with her the other 363, and she's not alone in the woods. We're talking about a very small woman. No offense to small women. I'm just saying, for her to be alone, to be that far back off of the street, to be completely out of sight from any people or any highway or whatever, and to be alone and to be approached by other men who aren't her partner with the intent of raping her or even possibly killing her, has her so petrified that she is not going to press charges, because she needs him back, because she's not going to sleep until he's back. She's going to sit there in front of that tent, looking and watching and listening until he's back. She's probably not going to eat. She's just going to sit there, just keeping out, so that she can keep herself hopefully protected. That's why she's not going to press charges. So anyway, Don was in for a couple of days. There were no charges that were pressed against him, and so he was released. After he was released, I was on the street, actually a couple of hours after he was released, and in the area of their camp, and he was on the street, and he saw me, and he starts walking towards me, and head down, and walking directly towards me. And I thought, well, okay, here we go, what will be. And so he comes walking towards me, and when he got towards me, he stopped just like within arm's reach, and he just stood there, blank faced, and he was looking at me. And finally, after a moment, he took a deep breath, and he looked me directly in the eyes, and he said, "Pastor Skip, thank you. Thank you. I love you. Thank you." He and I are extremely close friends today, and we've been close friends ever since. But the bottom line is that he needed help, and he knew he needed help. And no one would call the cops on him. No one. But me. Out of love for him, out of love for her, and out of just the right thing to do, I called the police. I took them to him. He was arrested. I filled out the forms and signed my name, and which got him arrested. It was a wake-up call for him, not so much the arrest. I mean, of course, the arrest and the few nights inside, but what was a wake-up call for him was that I would do that to him, take that chance, put myself out that far, take that risk to do that to him. I'm not telling you what you should do. Some of you are in these kinds of situations. My heart breaks for you. These women who are by themselves in the woods, on the street, in the abandoned buildings, behind the buildings, in the dumpster enclosures, wherever it is that they are trying to survive, they are at constant risk, and they're scared. If you are in an abusive, physically, mentally abusive relationship, you need help. I wish I could help you. Someone who sees this, if you know of a friend who is going through this kind of a situation in their life, let me just encourage you, step up. Go out on the limb. Step up. What's the worst thing that could happen? You could possibly save someone's life. I love those guys, and quite frankly, buddy, I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Be safe.
Thank you for watching this episode of Street Stories, brought to you by Word on the Street Homeless Ministries. Please follow us on Facebook at WOTS for Homeless, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at WOTS for Homeless. If you would like to learn more information about our ministry here in Orlando, Florida, you can visit us at wotsforhomeless.com. And if you would like to be a monthly donor or give a one-time donation, you can visit wotsforhomeless.com/give. Thank you.